Welcome to Classroom 2 Courtroom. Here's your host, Scott Benton.
Hey everyone, Scott Benton here. How are you? I'm the host of the Classroom to Courtroom podcast, where we help you easily transition from a law school student into your professional career as an attorney, and where we make the practice of law fun. And today, we're going to talk about how to write attorney notes. Are you a law student or recent graduate waiting for admission to the California bar and eager to gain real-world legal experience? Join the Legacy Lawyers' coveted associate programs in sunny Southern California. Our hands-on spring, summer, and fall programs provide opportunities to dive into high-stakes probate litigation. If you aspire to litigate and thrive in an America First culture that values God, family, and country, we want you on our team. Don't wait, space is limited. Call 714-766-0457 to learn more about this exciting opportunity. That's 714-766-0457. Elevate your legal career with the Legacy Lawyers. Attorney notes are a subject that does come up often on this podcast, so these do get covered from time to time. Hopefully, we're able to bring you something new or some kind of additional spin or kind of an angle on attorney notes that maybe you haven't thought of. Also, one of the best ways to learn is simply through repetition. So a lot of the ideas and themes that we talk about on this podcast do get repeated. They hopefully get repeated in a variety, and they connect in different ways. So you can see how the whole idea of practicing law intertwines. And it does intertwine. It's easy, but it's complex. If you understand that how easy and how complex it is, then it just makes you a better, stronger attorney. Now, we talk about attorney notes from time to time because attorney notes, they're critically important to your work as an attorney. And they're going to help you in completing the success cycle, because with your attorney notes, it becomes crystal clear as to what it is you have to do and what ultimately ends up on your to-do list. And the to-do list is the engine. It's the lifeblood of your ability to practice law. As an attorney, you are selling your time and your expertise. Inside of that time is where lives your expertise and your ability to help a client navigate their legal objectives that they have come to you to help them with. So we want to touch on the process of writing attorney notes, since attorney notes fill your to-do list. And from there, you can perform those legal services all day long. And each time you perform one task, you then bill for your time and you get paid, and then you start all over again. And that's the three-part process that makes up the success cycle, a subject we talk about frequently here. In fact, this entire podcast is built around the success cycle. And in fact, if you learn the success cycle before you start your first legal job, or even if you go do maybe a law clerk position while you're waiting for your bar results to come in, you're going to be able to jump straight into your legal work without having to learn this from scratch, and it's going to make you look really sharp. So let's get into it. How do you write attorney notes? Now, keep in mind that attorney notes are never, ever shared with the client. At the end of the case, they don't go to the client with all of their other documents. They never go further than the firm. So you can literally put anything you like in those attorney notes. They're for your reference, and maybe for other law clerks, or maybe for paralegals, other people involved in the case. They can read your attorney notes and they can get up to speed very quickly on every aspect of the case that they are also now going to be helping you to work on. So they're for your reference, but sometimes other people will read them. And then, of course, if a case gets transferred to another attorney, then those attorney notes become very helpful for the new attorney to get up to speed with where the case is. But they are for your reference, and you just want to absolutely mind dump everything you can into those attorney notes, simply so you're not carrying around all that information in your head, because if you're doing that, it's just going to simply bog down your most valuable workspace. Your most valuable workspace, of course, is that gray matter between your two ears. You want to protect that with your life. So you're going to open up a new document when you get a new case, and you're going to give it the name of your case file and then attorney notes, and you're going to put that in a separate folder, because remember, these are not going to your client at any time. Now, at first, you're going to write down everything you can about the case that you have in your head. After probably reading all the case notes, maybe meeting with your client once or twice, who knows? But you know a lot about the case so far. You're going to put in all the details in your attorney notes. You're going to, any thoughts that you have about the case, you're going to include those. Maybe there's some case objectives or ideas that you have about the case's strategy that you might want to include, and any sort of thoughts that you think might be important to the case either now or in the future. Just put it all in there, dump everything in, and remember, spelling doesn't count here. It helps. Other people might read your document later on, especially if the case gets transferred, but for the most part, really, things don't need to be spelled correctly. It helps if they are. You don't have to punctuate correctly. It helps if you do, but it's not necessary. Now, here's the key. Every time something new happens on that case, you're gonna stop what you're doing. You're gonna go to that attorney notes file. You're gonna open that up, and you're gonna add in a new entry. And you do that by date and time stamping this new entry. You're gonna put in that date. You're gonna put in the time, because sometimes you put in the time because every now and again, 2 things will happen in the same day, or 3 things, or 4 things, or whatever. So you want to have those separated out by time. So you're going to put in a date and a timestamp, and you're going to summarize whatever just happened for the case. So who knows? Maybe you got a deposition summons, or you filed an 850 petition, or there's some new piece of information that's come in, let's say from the opposing party. Whatever happens, whatever that new piece of information is, or whatever that action is, now you have a record of that taking place when you put it into your attorney notes. So each time something new occurs, that's exactly what you want to do on the case. Now, keep in mind that every single case you have is going to have its own set of attorney notes. And whenever anything new happens on a case, you're going to open up the attorney notes for that case. You're going to date and timestamp a new entry, and you're going to summarize what happened. Now, keep in mind that whenever something new happens on a case, that's also going to inform your to-do list, because now there's probably something new for you to do, which is going to inform the legal services you're going to need to provide for that case. So it's going to end up on your to-do list. When you're doing this process for all of your cases, and let's just pick a number. Let's say you have 30 cases. So there's 30 of these attorney notes that you have. You're very quickly going to see that you're never, ever going to run out of to-do list items, which means that you hit your minimum billable hourly requirement about as quickly as possible. And that's going to happen day after day. And it's why you need to pay attention to these attorney notes, because this becomes the raw ore that's going to inform your to-do list. It's going to inform your legal services. It's going to inform your billing entries, and it's going to inform the money that you get paid by your clients for the legal services that you've delivered. Ultimately, that means that you're going to go home at the end of the day feeling very accomplished and very good. You're going to have a great evening indeed. And hopefully it's Friday night, because that means you're going to have a great weekend as well. You're also going to know exactly where you are in the work that you need to complete for your cases and where you need to start the next morning. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit more about how to complete attorney notes. They are life-changing, and they're the key to your success in practicing law as a very highly productive attorney. So I hope that's been helpful. My name is Scott Benton. I'm the host of the Classroom to Courtroom podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Now, if this podcast is material that you like and you want to get notified whenever we post a new episode, you can go to our website. Our website is classroom2courtroom.com. That's classroom, the number 2, courtroom.com. You can leave us your contact information. We'll send you an email anytime we post a new episode. You can also stay on top of all of our new episodes by sharing, liking, and subscribing wherever you find this podcast. And until the next episode, we hope you'll join us in making the world a better place, one client at a time. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us on Classroom 2 Courtroom, the podcast designed to help launch your first-time legal career. If you have any feedback or ideas for episodes you'd like to hear, you can always find us at classroom2courtroom.com, where you can leave comments, ask questions, and even join our online community. And always remember, by becoming an excellent and confident practicing attorney, you actually make the world a better place. Now get out there and master the art of practicing law.